Have you ever watched your whole world burn down from the inside of a car parked across the street? I was sitting in my Ford Explorer on a rainy Tuesday night, parked under the buzzing neon sign of the Hotel Lincoln just off Clark Street in Chicago. The rain was blurring the world outside, but my eyes were fixed on one window on the third floor. A silhouette moved, then another. They merged. My wife, Sarah, was in that room. I was supposed to be on a flight to Dallas. My phone buzzed. A text from her, asterisk, "Miss you so much. The bed feels so empty. Duh." Asterisk, I looked from the glowing screen in my hand to that hotel window, and a cold, sharp clarity cut through the pain. This wasn't the end of my world. It was the beginning of hers. If you genuinely enjoy our stories, please subscribe to the channel. Tell us where you're from and what time it is right now. It's always fascinating to know how far our story flows. It started subtly, as these things always do. A new password on her laptop. Phone calls taken in the other room, her voice a low murmur. When I'd walk in, she'd hang up abruptly. "Just a work thing," she'd say, her smile a little too bright, a little too brittle. We'd been married for 10 years, built a life in a quiet suburb just outside the city. I thought we were happy. I was a fool. The real clue was a receipt I found in her glove box. Dinner for two at Gibson's Bar and Steakhouse on Rush Street. An expensive dinner on a night she told me she was working late. I paid the bills. I knew our budget. This wasn't in it. When I asked her about it, her eyes went cold. "Are you checking up on me? I have to entertain clients, you know." Not all of us have a simple 9 to 5. The jab was meant to hurt, and it did. She made me feel small, paranoid. She was a master at it, turning my suspicion back on me, making me the villain for questioning her. The man's name was Mark. I found it out through a friend who'd seen them together, looking a little too comfortable at a downtown bar. Mark was everything I wasn't too slick. Wealthy developer with a smug smile and a corner office overlooking Millennium Park. They felt untouchable. Wrapped in their arrogance and my money, the humiliation was a physical weight. I'd lie awake at night, picturing them together while she slept soundly beside me, a stranger in my own bed. One night I broke. I confronted her with what I knew, my voice shaking. She didn't even have the decency to look ashamed. She just stared at me, her expression flat. "Don't be so dramatic," she said. "People have affairs. It doesn't have to mean anything." That's when the love died, evaporated, leaving behind something icy and hard. I walked out of the room, went to my home office, and for the first time, I didn't cry. I started planning. My revenge had to be silent, precise, and absolute. I became an actor in my own home, playing the part of the defeated, heartbroken husband. I let her believe she had one, that I was too weak to do anything. Meanwhile, I was gathering my army. I hired the best divorce attorney in Chicago, a shark named Mr. Davies. I also hired a private investigator, a former cop who knew how to be invisible. He documented everything the hotel stays. Expensive gifts Mark bought her with money I now suspected was also mine, siphoned from our joint accounts. The business trip to Dallas was the final piece of the trap. I packed my bags, kissed her goodbye at the airport, and then circled back, my heart pounding a steady, cold rhythm. The photos the PI took that night were damning, undeniable. The final act was set for our anniversary party, a lavish affair Sarah had insisted on hosting at our home. She wanted to show off, to parade her perfect life in front of our friends and family. Her parents were there, her work colleagues, our neighbors. Mark was there too, introduced as a new client. He shook my hand, his grip firm, his eyes full of condescending pity for the fool he thought I was. I let them enjoy the charade. I even gave a toast. I raised my glass, looked directly at Sarah, and said, "To my beautiful wife, you've given me a life I never could have imagined." And then I pressed play. A projector I'd set up lit up the large wall behind me. It wasn't a slideshow of our happy memories. It was the photos from the Hotel Lincoln. The grainy images of her and Mark, their embrace unmistakable. The room fell silent. The gasps were audible. Sarah's face went from a triumphant smile to a mask of pure horror. Her father, a man I respected, just stared at the wall, his face ashen. But I wasn't done. As the whispers turned to a roar, a man in a suit stepped forward and served her with divorce papers, right there, in front of everyone. Then, another man served Mark, whose own wife I had anonymously contacted, providing her with her own copy of the evidence. The legal papers detailed the infidelity, the drained bank accounts, the fraud. She was ruined, socially and legally. Her friends backed away from her as if she were diseased. Her parents left without a word. Mark's wife dragged him out, her voice a furious hiss. Sarah just stood there, alone in the middle of the room, the ghost of her perfect life scattered around her feet. I didn't say another word, just walked out the door, leaving her to the silence and the stares. The house, the money, her reputation, it was all gone. I had taken back everything she had stolen from me, and more. I never saw her again. Sometimes late at night I wonder what happened to her, but the feeling passes. The rain on my window tonight sounds just like it did that evening outside the hotel. A quiet, steady rhythm. It's the sound of washing away the past. My world is quiet now, and the silence is a victory. The end.